The only thing that I was ever told is that I was going to attend a new school today, and Ruby, you better behave. And that's what I was focused on. The truth of the matter is that my parents were sharecroppers, and having a formal education was a luxury for them that they could not afford. Whenever it was time to get the crops in, they were not allowed to go to school. And so when the knock came at the door from the NAACP, explaining to them that if they sent their 6-year-old to one of the first integrated schools in New Orleans, that it would allow them an opportunity to have a better education, possibly even to attend college. And that's absolutely all my parents needed to hear. I say parents, but it was more my mom. My father fought in the Korean War, and he said, even on the front line, you could be fighting next to a white soldier, and if you lived and you went back to the barracks at the end of the day, you could not go back to the same barracks as the soldier that you were fighting next to, or the soldier that you were in the foxhole with, if he was white. You couldn't eat in the same mess hall. So he thought sending me to this white school wouldn't change anything. And so he was really against it. But I always say, like most women, we win. And so there I was, about to attend a brand new school, and all I knew was that I needed to behave. Living in New Orleans, I was accustomed to Mardi Gras, and so I remember that day when the federal marshals knocked at the door and I got into the car with them. It was a very short drive to my new school, and the minute I arrived in front of the school, what I saw resembled Mardi Gras. So that actually kept me from being afraid. I thought I was in the midst of a parade. I remember the door opening and seeing people standing out in front of the school, and there were police officers everywhere. And so I remember them saying, "Ruby, walk straight ahead and don't look back," and I did that. I have to say that what surprised me the most, because I was accustomed to school, I'd gone to kindergarten, so I knew that kids were supposed to be in school, but every day when I arrived, I was the only child in the school. In an empty classroom for a whole year. Teachers actually quit their jobs because they refused to teach black children. This one teacher came from Boston, and she taught me. And it was her and I the whole year in that empty classroom, in that empty school. But I travel today all across the country, and I speak to kids because my experience comes from that of a child. And so I believe that if we are to get past our racial differences, it's going to come from our children. And so the lesson that I took away in first grade, I believe, is the exact same lesson that Dr. King tried to teach all of us. And that is, you cannot look at a person and judge them. We must become brothers and sisters. We must absolutely take care of one another. It does take a village, but we have to be a village first. We have to take care of each other's children. You know, when I grew up and integrated that school back in 1960, I was escorted every day by federal marshals. But everyone on my street walked behind the car every day. My neighbors walked me to school as I rode in the car with federal marshals. That's a community, and that's what we need again.